Vaccinations are a multi-billion industry in the Western world, highly profitable, and there is a great drive in that industry to introduce more and more and more and more vaccinations because it's a product, it's a business, they're selling it. And these powers that produce vaccinations control the governments in the Western world. And the governments control the medical profession in the Western world. So it's a full circle. And we had one infection in the needle 15 years ago, then we had 3, now we have 5 infections in the same needle to the baby. And there is a growing proportion of babies who are damaged by these vaccinations. GAPS children are not fit to be vaccinated with the standard vaccination protocol. These are children with damaged gut flora, children who acquired abnormal flora from their mother from day one of their life. They must not be vaccinated with the standard vaccination protocol because their immune system is compromised. It cannot handle these vaccinations. These children get damaged. They may not develop anything right now after the vaccination in the first week or 2. They may be okay. But in 2 months they will develop diabetes type 1, insulin-dependent diabetes, or asthma, or eczema, or allergy, or a learning disability, or something else. And quite often, because it may not develop immediately after vaccination, our doctors may not connect the vaccination with the development of the disease. But what's happening, the immune system is already damaged, and vaccination will damage even further, and it will take the immune system to fall apart. It takes time, and that's when the disease develops in the person. So what I recommend, I have a whole chapter on vaccinations in my book. We have to change our vaccination protocol because we have an epidemic of gaps in the Western world. I was talking about the mothers of these children and the fathers of these children. Every generation of young ladies who are having children every year have more and more damaged gut flora. Ladies who were having their children in the 1990s, had gut flora which was a little bit better than ladies who are having it now. Next year, the population of ladies who will be having babies will have even worse gut flora than this year. This is escalating, this epidemic. And this epidemic of abnormal gut flora is reflecting the epidemics and the diseases we see in our children. 25 years ago, we were diagnosing 1 child in 10,000 with autism. 1 child in 10,000. 20 years ago, we started diagnosing 1 child in 150. That was already a 40-fold increase in the incidence of autism. Today, in the English-speaking world and some other Western countries, we're diagnosing 1 child in 40. I've been to Sweden a few months ago. They're diagnosing 1 child in 35 autistic. And the scientists have already drew this graph, the prediction. When this graph comes to 2020, year 2020, they're predicting 1 child in 2 will be autistic. Half of our children will be autistic in the Western world. We don't know what the statistics are in Turkey. They're probably a bit better because your diet is a bit more traditional, but it will come here. It's a big wave, it's a big avalanche that is coming from English-speaking countries and spreading all over the world. And if the mixture of toxins that is coming out of the digestive system of the child is slightly different, the child may not become autistic, but the child will develop hyperactivity, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or dyslexia, or dyspraxia, or oppositional defiant disorder, or bipolar disorder, or schizophrenia, or something else. All these diseases are gaining epidemic proportions. And that is only the brain. If we look at the rest of the body, diabetes type 1 is becoming an epidemic, insulin-dependent diabetes in our children. We used to, 10, 15 years, we used to diagnose people who were 18, 25 with this disorder. Today we're diagnosing 1-year-old, 2-year-old babies. It's becoming younger and younger, this disease. And asthma, and allergies, and rheumatoid arthritis in children, and lupus, and all sorts of other physical disorders, which are all coming out of the digestive system of the child. The proportion of babies in the Western world who are born with this problem is growing. Nobody's doing research to calculate how many children are now affected by this disorder, From where I stand, it's more than 50%. And every year, the proportion of babies born is growing. That is why we have to review our vaccination protocol.